Hello dear students, as you all know we are doing a lecture series and we are uploading the lecture series on YouTube. It is in the new playlist, please take care of that, okay. Playlist of previous year is also there. You need to find out the new playlist. New playlist is class 12th science in bracket 2021-22 is there. Okay, channel name you know, it is Divine Public School, Manapur, Gorakhpur. So in the last video lecture what we were talking about spherical mirrors. I have introduced spherical mirrors. We have done basic definitions related to spherical mirrors. Today what we are going to do? Today we are going to see the image formation by a concave mirror and then image formation by a convex mirror, and after that we'll move to mirror formula. We'll try to prove the mirror formula. Okay, so let us start for the image formation. Image formation by a concave mirror. Okay, image formation by a concave mirror. What we need to understand, there are four fundamental rays for a concave mirror, and because of those fundamental rays only we try to make our ray diagram. Okay, say this is a concave mirror. The first ray is if a ray of light is passing parallel to the principal axis, incident on the mirror parallel to the principal axis, then after getting reflected from the mirror it passes through the focus. This is the first ray. Second fundamental ray is if a ray is passing through center of curvature and falls on the mirror. If a ray of light is passing through center of curvature and falls on the mirror, then basically it falls at 90 degree on the mirror, and because of that it gets reflected back and retraces the same path. I hope you know what is the name of the principle involved over here. The name of the principle is principle of reversibility. Third fundamental ray is if a ray of light passing through the focus and then falls on the mirror. If a ray of light passing through the focus and then falls on the mirror, then it becomes parallel to the principal axis after getting reflected back. So this is the third fundamental ray. And the fourth fundamental ray is if a ray of light falls on the pole. If a ray of light falls on the pole, then what happens? Then in that case, the ray of light makes some angle with the principal axis. It will make some angle with the principal axis. So whatever angle it make here, it makes same angle and get reflected back with the principal axis. Okay, why is it so? Because the principal axis act as a normal for it. So these are four fundamental rays, and with the help of these rays we try to find out our images for desired positions. Okay, now the positions are like, first position is when the object is at infinity. So if the object is at infinity, how the ray diagram looks like, let us see. Say this is your concave mirror, and say this is your principal axis, pole, focus and center of curvature. So if the object is at infinity, the rays must come parallel to each other, and if rays are coming like they are parallel to the principal axis also, then what will happen? After getting reflection from the mirror, they pass through the focus. Okay, after getting reflection from the mirror, they pass through the focus. So what we get? We get a point-sized image. It is at focus. It is real. We cannot say inverted or erected because it is point-sized. For this case, we have one more ray diagram. Actually it depends upon the extension of the object. For the first ray diagram I have drawn, it is assumed that the object extended above the principal axis as well as below the principal axis. But what happens if the object is extended only above the principal axis? So ray of light will not come parallel to the principal axis. Ray of light will be something like this. Okay, so one ray of light, say directly on the pole, it gets reflected back like this. Another ray of light passing through the focus parallel to the previous one. Okay, parallel to the previous one, something like this. Okay, and after getting reflected back, it passes such that the image is formed at focus only. Okay, say this is your focus. So ray of light goes like this. So in this case we can say that image is inverted also. Image is inverted, image is real, image is at focus, and is obviously smaller than the object. Smaller than object. So this is the first position when the object is at infinity. Okay, when the object is extended above the principal axis as well as below the principal axis, the rays are parallel to the principal axis. But if the object is extended only above the principal axis, the ray diagram will be made like this. The incident rays are parallel to each other. Whenever a ray goes to infinity, or rays, if two rays are there and they are meeting at infinity, they are parallel to each other. And from infinity the rays are coming, they are parallel to each other. Here they are parallel to the principal axis because object is above the principal axis also and below the principal axis also. Okay, so this is how the ray diagram is made for the first case. I have used which ray? For the first case I have used only this one. For the second I have used third and fourth. I can use any of one, any two. Either this and this, this and this, or this and this. In whatever two you use, you will get your ray diagram correct. Okay. Let us do the second one. Second ray diagram. In the second ray diagram, object is beyond center of curvature. Second case, when object is beyond C. When the object is beyond C. So if the object is beyond C, how that ray diagram is made, just see. Say this is your concave mirror, and say this is your pole. It is focus, it is center of curvature. Object is somewhere here. Beyond center of curvature, it is somewhere here. Right? Now, if a ray of light passes parallel to the principal axis, it strikes on the mirror, obviously the ray of light will go through the focus. One ray is this one. Another ray, you can make pole, you can make this third one, you can make this fourth one. I am making the fourth one through the focus, and after getting reflection, it becomes parallel to the principal axis. Okay, it becomes parallel to the principal axis, right? So somewhere here, the rays are meeting each other. So if the object is AB, the image formed will be A dash, B dash. Is it clear? So if we compare, if we want to write the characteristics of image, in characteristics we have to mention four things. First of all, position. So position is between F and C. It is the position. Second thing, the nature of the image. So image is real and inverted. And the third thing, size of the image. So obviously it is smaller than object. Smaller than object. Okay. So this is the characteristics of image we get in this case. Now the third case is when object is at C. Object is at C. Object is at C. Object is at center of curvature. So for that thing, if a ray of light, first of all let me make the mirror. So say this is your mirror, okay, this is your mirror, this is your pole, this is your principal axis, okay. Here the focus is there and here that center of curvature. So object is at center of curvature simply means object is somewhere here. Object is somewhere here, right? So a ray of light passes parallel to the principal axis, strikes the mirror, and it goes from the focus. It goes through the focus, right? Say this is your focus. Another ray of light passes through the focus, and after getting reflected, it becomes parallel to the principal axis. So ray of light goes like this. Okay? Where we get the image? We get image here only. So if the object is AB, we get the image A dash, B dash. Okay? And as you can see in the ray diagram, the image is at center of curvature. It is the position. It is real and inverted. Obviously it is. And the last one is the size. Size is same as the object. Same as the object. Is it clear? Okay. So this is how we make ray diagram in these two cases. Okay. This is how we make ray diagram in these two cases. The first I am writing position, second I am writing nature, third I am writing size. Okay. So these are the characteristics of the image, and this is the ray diagram related to that. Okay. Now let us move to the next ray diagram. The next ray diagram, object is where? The object is between focus and the center of curvature. Object is between focus and center of curvature. Fourth one. Object is between F and C. F is focus, C is center of curvature. So how the ray diagram is made in this case? Say this is your concave mirror. Say this is your pole. Here is a focus. Here is a center of curvature. Object is somewhere here. Between focus and the center of curvature, somewhere here. Okay. How that ray diagram is made? First of all, a ray parallel to the principal axis. It passes through the focus. Okay. Another ray passes through the focus and then become parallel to the principal axis. So this is how the ray diagram is made. Now what we get? We get an image. We get an image beyond C. We get an image beyond C somewhere here. Okay. So say this is your object AB and this is your image A dash, B dash. Where the image is formed? Where the image is formed? In this case, the image is formed beyond C. This is the position of image. It is beyond C. What is its nature? Its nature is real and inverted. And the third thing is size. So now it is bigger than the object. Bigger than object. In other words, we can say larger than object. Okay, both have same meaning. Bigger or larger? Larger than the object. This time the image is magnified. This time the image is magnified. Okay. Now we are going to move on the fifth one. When the object is at F. Object is at F. Okay, object is at F. So if the object is at F, then how the ray diagrams are made? I have not removed these ray diagrams so that you can match which ray I am using, right? Say this is your principal axis. This is a pole, focus, center of curvature. The object is somewhere here. Somewhere here the object is. Okay. Now I'm going to use this one, center of curvature one. So from center of curvature, if a ray of light passes through, like suppose from the object, if a ray of light passes through, say from the object, if the ray is light going in the manner that extending behind it is going to the center of curvature, then what happens? Ray of light goes like this. Since it is through the center of curvature, it will retrace its path. Why is it so? Because it falls normally on the mirror. It falls normally on the mirror, and because of that, it retraces its path. It passes through the C only. Another ray, just take. So this ray is going like this. Another ray. Let the ray will pass at focus, and now this will be reflected like this. So this ray and this ray, they are parallel to each other, and if they are parallel to each other, they will cut at infinity. They'll cut at infinity. So this time the image is at infinity. The image is real and inverted, and the image is highly magnified. Highly magnified. Highly magnified. Is it clear? So this is the case where the image is formed at infinity. It is highly magnified, and the image is formed which is real and inverted. Okay. The last case related to concave mirror is when the object is kept between focus and the pole. Sixth one, when the object is between P and F, pole and the focus. When the object is between P and F, so how the concave mirror is made? This is how the concave mirror is made. And now say this is a pole, the focus, and this is center of curvature, right? So here the object is where? The object is between pole and the focus. So object will be somewhere here. Okay, object will be somewhere here. So one ray I am going to use the center of curvature one. So one ray goes like this. So this ray goes like this, it come back like this. So it retraces its path. Okay, because it is passing through the center of curvature, so it will retrace its path. Another ray I am going to use is from the pole. So this ray will make the same angle, and it goes like this. Now you can see this ray and this ray, they are diverging from each other. So basically they are not going to meet in future. So what we do, we just extend the rays behind the mirror. And what we find, that it is meeting somewhere behind the mirror here. So what we get? We get a virtual image in this case. A dash, B dash. A virtual image. This is the only case where the virtual image is formed by a concave mirror, and that is why this case is very important. This case is important because virtual image is formed. Okay, so image is what? Virtual. It is where it is. So first of all, it is behind the mirror. It is the position of the image. Next thing we need to write the nature. So image is virtual and image is erected. It is upside to the principal axis, so it is erected, and it is magnified. So basically this makes the concave mirror very useful. Sometimes we need to see a very magnified view of something. Okay, like in makeup mirrors or the shaving kit mirrors, we need to see the enlarged view of our face. Okay, so that we can work on our face, we can do the required things on our faces. So basically the mirror is concave, they are slightly concave. So when we put that mirror too close to our face, what happens? We see an enlarged view of our face in that mirror. This is the case when the object is between focus and the pole, and enlarged view, a magnified view can be seen inside the mirror as we see ourselves in the plane mirrors. Okay, so this is what the total 6 cases of concave mirror. Now we are going to discuss for convex mirror. All these things you have done in class 10th, and that's why I've just going through them, just kind of I'm reminding you, making you remember what you have done in class 10th. Okay, all these things you have done in class 10th, right? So let us do the ray diagram of convex mirror. For convex mirror, what happens? There are two fundamental rays. For convex mirror, there are two fundamental rays. Okay, say this is your convex mirror. For convex mirror, all we know that its point lies on the right hand side. So say this is focus, this is center of curvature. Only two rays are there which will help us to make the ray diagram. One ray is, if a ray is coming parallel to the principal axis, then after getting reflection, it will reflect in such a manner that when we extend it behind, it passes through the focus. The second ray is, I am making here only. The second ray is, or let me make a separate diagram. The second ray is, if a ray of light is going in such a manner that on extending it, it passes through the center of curvature. Okay, it passes through the center of curvature. Then what will happen? Again, it will retrace its path because it is going normally on the mirror. It is its incidence on the mirror is perpendicular to the mirror surface, and we use only these two rays to make our ray diagram. Only two cases are there. First case, when the object is at infinity, and when the object is at infinity, the ray diagram will be like, say this is your convex mirror, this is pole, this is focus, this is center of curvature. If the object is at infinity, so rays are coming parallel to the principal axis, and after getting reflected from the mirror, it will reflect in such a manner that on extending it, it passes through the focus. So what we get? We get an image on the focus. Image will be point sized. Sorry, I have written size first. First of all, we have to write position. So position is at F. Image is virtual. We cannot say erected or inverted because image is point sized. Moreover, the last thing is the image is point size, its size. Point size. This is the first case for convex mirror. Only two cases are there for convex mirror. The second case is when an object is kept in front of a convex mirror. It can be kept anywhere because all the points which specify specific points are there. So they are on the right hand side of the mirror, they are behind the mirror. So basically we can put them, object can be anywhere in the mirror, anywhere in front of the mirror. So let this be an object AB. Not one ray parallel to the principal axis. After getting reflection, it will go like this. Another ray will go like this, as on extending it passes through the center of curvature. So it will go by the path, it will retrace its path because it is falling perpendicular on the mirror. So what we get? We get an intersection point somewhere here, which is A dash, B dash. So image is formed between P and F. Image is virtual, and as you can see, it is erected also, and the image is smaller than object. Smaller than object. So this makes the convex mirror very useful. This makes the convex mirror very useful. Okay, why is it so? Because object can be anywhere in front of the mirror, one image will be formed, and that too virtual image, it can be seen in the mirror. But in case of concave mirror, object when the position of the object was changing, the image was also changing. So image is not formed always behind the mirror, so it cannot be seen inside the mirror all the time. Is it clear? So here the image is virtual, the image is directed, and it can be seen inside the mirror always. Okay, so what I want to tell you is it is very useful for us. Why is it so? Because it can make images of all the objects which are there in front of it, and that's why it is used as rear view mirrors. Rear view mirrors in cars, bikes, all the vehicles. You must have seen one line is written on the mirrors that objects are closer than they appear. It is written on the side view mirror. Okay, on the bike, on the car, it is written objects are closer than they appear. Why is it written over there? Because the image what we see in the mirror, it is smaller in size, and by seeing the size we anticipate the size of the size of the object, the distance of the object from us. If an object is very far away from us, it will be looking very small. Okay, and if it is very close to us, it will be looking a bit bigger. So what we see in the mirror, it is smaller in size in comparison to the object, and that is why one prediction can be made that objects are very far away, but sometimes the objects are very close to each other, very close to us, and we see a smaller image in the mirror. So we anticipate that the vehicle is very far away from us, but it is not like that, and that's why that warning line is written over there that objects are closer than they appear. Moreover, that convex mirror, one more benefit is there. For convex mirror, large field of view we get. Okay, for a convex mirror we get a large field of view. See, this much field of view we cover. Okay, this much field of view we cover. For plane mirror it is not possible. Suppose if it is a plane mirror, for the same distance of the object if I see it, so for plane mirror the field view is something like this much. But for convex mirror the field of view is large, and this is one of the reasons why convex mirror is used as rear view mirrors. So this is all about the ray diagrams. All the ray diagrams I have told you. 6 cases of concave mirror, 2 cases of convex mirror. Okay. Now let us come and let us move to our next topic, which is very important, and it has been asked in the CBSE board examination in 5 marks question. Okay, and this is mirror formula. This is mirror formula. Okay, mirror formula. Well, we know what is mirror formula. We are going to prove that. So the next topic, and the very important topic, is mirror formula. Mirror formula. Okay. Now how that mirror formula, what is mirror formula? We know that it is 1 upon f is equal to 1 upon v plus 1 upon u. In case of mirror, the mirror formula is given like this. So we want to prove that, we need to prove this equation from where it has come. And for that, the 3 cases are there. When a real image is formed by a concave mirror, when a virtual image is formed by a concave mirror, and for convex mirror. Okay. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take only one, rest 2 will be a homework. Okay. So let us start, and I'm going to do the first one, case 1. Real image is formed by concave mirror. Real image is formed by concave mirror. This is our case, and this is what we are going to do is. So let us take a concave mirror first of all. Say this is our concave mirror, and for this mirror we need to prove the equation. So this is your pole, this is your focus, this is your center of curvature, right? Here is the object AB. So from the object, one ray comes parallel to the principal axis. After that, it gets reflected back. Okay, it goes like this. Another ray, I need to make is the from the center of curvature, but center of curvature ray, I need to make center of curvature a bit this side, no problem. Let this ray be like this. Let me make the ray diagram once again. Say this is a concave mirror. Okay. Say this is your pole. This is your focus. This is the center of curvature. And focus should be somewhere in the mid. Okay. And here is the object. Somewhere here. Say this is your object. AB. Okay. Or let the object be at, let this object be here only. Okay. Now one ray through the center of curvature, it falls on the mirror. Okay. It falls on the mirror and it retraces its path because it is going through the center of curvature. So basically it is perpendicular to the mirror surface. Another ray passing through the focus, it passes through focus, passing parallel to the principal axis. After reflection it passes through the focus. So image we get over here. Say this is your A dash, B dash. But for proving the formula, I need one more ray, and that ray will go to the pole and it passes through the same point. Okay, so this ray I was also in need of to prove the things. Okay, so this is your ray diagram. Now just see, let me define first of all distances. So P to A, that is PA, it is your object distance, and since ray of light is going in that direction, and I have already told you that the direction of incidence light is taken positive, so basically we are going opposite to that. So basically the object distance, which is denoted by small u, is taken negative, so it will be minus u. PA dash, A dash is the image, so PA dash will be the image distance. Again it is going in this direction only, so it will be minus v. PF will be our focal length, that is your f, and it has to be negative because again it is going in this direction. PC is your radius of curvature, so it will be minus r because we are going in this direction. AB is the height of the object, so it should be h, and A dash B dash is the height of the image, it will be minus h dash. Why is it so? Why it is considered to be negative? Because the image is inverted. Okay, so these are the distances we need to put. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to take a pair of triangles. Just see the pair ABP, the triangle ABP, and the triangle A dash B dash P. Triangle A dash B dash P. Okay, what triangles I am taking? I am taking triangle ABP and triangle A dash B dash P. Now just see, one angle is 90 degree in this triangle. One angle is 90 degree, this angle is 90 degree, and whatever angle the incident ray makes with the principal axis, the reflected ray makes with the same angle, because one is angle of incidence, this one is angle of reflection. So I is equal to R. Basically two angles are equal, and that's why we can say these two triangles are similar to each other. Very good, these are similar to each other. Now what I am going to write? I am going to write perpendicular upon base for both the triangles, because in similar triangles the ratio of the corresponding sides are equal. So basically I am going to write here AB upon, this is a perpendicular of this triangle ABP, upon PA. PA is the base, and for this triangle A dash B dash is the perpendicular and PA dash is the base. I am transferring AB that side, PA dash this side, so it will be PA dash upon PA is equal to A dash B dash upon AB. Now let us put the values. PA dash is minus V, PA is minus U, A dash B dash is minus H dash, and AB is H. So minus and minus will be cancelled out. What we are going to have, H dash upon H will be equal to minus V upon U. Let this be equation number 1. Okay, 1 minus will be cancelled out, 1 minus will be left. So that minus is transferred there, that side. So this is your equation number 1. Now again I am going to take another triangle, and what that another triangle is, just see this triangle ABC and A dash B dash C. Triangle I am going to consider is triangle ABC and triangle A dash B dash C. Now just see, again both the triangles, one angle is 90 degree and this angle is vertically opposite. So basically these again two triangles are similar to each other. Again what I'm going to do, I'm going to write the corresponding sides perpendicular upon base of first triangle and perpendicular upon base of the second triangle. So perpendicular upon base for the first triangle will be AB upon CA, which is equal to A dash B dash upon CA dash. Is it clear? Again AB is transferred to that side, CA dash is transferred to this side. So we'll have CA dash upon CA is equal to A dash B dash upon AB. Okay, now just see, I have the value of A dash B dash, which is minus S dash. I have the value of AB, it is H, but I don't have the value of C dash. I don't have the value of C dash. I don't have this distance from here to here. I don't have. So what I need to do, I need to calculate this distance. How I will be able to? So just I am going to write this CA dash as PC minus PA dash. I can write it. So it will be like PC minus PA dash. Just see, PC. From here till here it is PC. From here till here it is PA dash. PC minus PA dash will get this distance. In the same manner, CA, this distance. So this distance can be written as PA minus PC. So it will be PA minus PC. Here no changes are there. A dash B dash upon AB. Now PC can be written as minus R. Minus PA dash can be written as minus V. So it will become plus V. Upon PA will be minus U. Minus PC it will become plus R is equal to minus H dash upon H. Now if this minus is sent this side, so R will become plus and V will become minus. So it will become R minus V upon R minus U is equal to H dash upon H. Or we can write H dash upon H is equal to R minus V upon R minus U. Say this is your equation number 2. Now equation number 1 and equation number 2, they both are telling the same value, and that value is H dash upon H. So what I am going to do, I am going to equate these equations and let's see what happens. From 1 and 2. From 1 and 2. What I am going to have, just see. What I am going to have, from here I am having minus V upon U is equal to, here I am having R minus V upon R minus U. Now I am going to cross multiply it and let's see what happens. R minus is multiplied with this, so it will become minus VR plus UV is equal to U is multiplied with this, so UR minus UV. Okay, UR minus UV. Now this plus UV or minus UV can be transferred this side, so it will become plus and it will be added. Minus VR is transferred that side. So UV will come over here, so it will become 2 UV, and VR is transferred that side. We can have VR plus UR. Now what we can write? We can write 2 UV is equal to R can be taken common, so it will become V plus U into R. Now R is transferred this side and UV is transferred that side. We'll have 2 upon R is equal to V plus U upon UV. Just distribute this one, so it will become 2 by R is equal to V upon UV plus U upon UV. So V and V will be cancelled out, and here U and U will be cancelled out. So it will be 2 by R is equal to 1 by U plus 1 by V, or we can write 2 by R is equal to 1 by V plus 1 by U. Okay. Now if you remember the relation focal length and the radius of curvature, so F is equal to R by 2. So here it is written 2 by R, reciprocal of focal length. So it will become 1 by R, 1 by F is equal to, it will become 1 by V plus 1 by U. So this is the case when the image formed by the concave mirror is the real one. Image formed by the concave mirror is the real one. Same procedure is there, only the value of distances will be changed. Even the triangles will not be changed. If you take the same variables A, B, C and all the letters, if you take same, even the triangle will not be changed. same triangles are there. For virtual image formed by a concave mirror, for virtual image formed by a convex mirror, same procedure is there and same result is also there. Okay, so this is all we have done. This is all this is all derivation related to the mirror formula. This is how it is derived, and now you are able to understand why it is called geometrical optics. See, it is all geometry. Similarity of triangles I am using, ratio of corresponding sides I am using, angles are there, vertical opposite angles are there, alternate interior angles previously we used. So basically what we are doing, with the help of geometry we are deriving our relations, and that's why it is called geometrical optics. Okay, so this is the derivation of mirror formula in one case. Rest two cases are your homework. What are the cases? Virtual image formed by the concave mirror, virtual image formed by the convex mirror. In the next video lecture I'll talk about magnification, and then after some numericals I'll try to solve based on these formulas. Okay, so this is all for the day. I hope you are safe. Keep yourself safe, keep on studying, just utilize the time what you have got. In regular times I used to heard from the students that, sir, we are not getting time to study, we are not getting time to study. Now this is the time you are getting plenty of time to study. Okay, so just utilize this time, keep yourself safe, and keep on studying, be better. This is all for the day. Thank you.